We're in the home of Sister Gould in Idaho Falls. This is September the 2nd, 1979. Sister Gould is going to just give us some information about her recollection and memory of early events in Idaho Falls and anything that she wants to say. When did you come to Idaho Falls, Sister Gould?
1900.
Where were you born?
I was born in Switzerland.
And when did you come to the United States?
Well, we came in United States in 1900. When I came to Salt Lake. And we lived there for about 6 months. My father said he couldn't raise his family in the city, so he came to Idaho Falls with Bertha Burkhart to see her sister, Mrs. Milfight. And we stayed there that fall, and Father made arrangement with Mr. Abe Knighting for some land. Well, we found out later that the land was to be contested if he didn't do the work on it that was required.
It was a homestead that had to be proved.
No, it wasn't a homestead. It was another piece of land that they could take and contest, but they had to plant the trees and put water on it, and he never done it.
Where was it? Where was the land? Where was the location?
It was called Grant.
Grant. That's between here and Rigby.
Yeah, that is between here and Manan.
Sister Gould, did your parents belong to the church?
My father and mother was converted to the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints in Switzerland.
And that's one reason they came to Utah and Idaho for the church?
Yes, for the church. But he could, if people found out that he belonged to the church, he could not get any work of any kind.
In Switzerland?
In Switzerland. And he then sold out. The missionaries came there and explained the church to him, and like that, so we came to America.
Were you baptized in Switzerland?
Yes, I was baptized. My sister and I, Sister Rose, and Bertha was I was baptized in the slough or wherever it was. I don't remember that.
Do you remember the name of the city in Switzerland that you lived in?
We lived in Orbung. That was where we came from. Then Father took and sold the property, what he had, and he sent the two oldest children to Salt Lake with the missionaries. They sent them because they could get in ahead there.
What was your father's name?
Metzener, Jakob Metzener.
And what was your mother's name?
Mary Burri Metzener. Mm-hmm. And so by that he took and sold 2 heifers in order to get the money, to raise enough money to send my oldest sister and my brother to Salt Lake.
What were the names of all your brothers and sisters?
Well, my oldest sister is Mary Metzener, and Jacob Metzener was the two children that he sent on with the missionaries because they could come half there. Well, after that day, he went with the missionaries to Salt Lake.
How many, were there other children besides you and these two older ones?
Oh, yes. There was my sister Rose and Bertha, and I was the youngest.
Mm-hmm. See? And who did Bertha marry, and who did Mary marry?
Mary married Rudolph Wiedekoffer.
Here? From here?
Salt Lake.
From Salt Lake.
They was married in Salt Lake.
And then they moved up here.
Well, later years, after she was married, and like that, he wanted to get on a piece of land. He come up here, and he took up a piece of land. This was west where we were.
And who did marry? Your older sister marry?
That's the one.
The one that came with the missionaries. Who did she marry?
Well, she married the Rudolph Wiedekoffer.
Oh, she's the oldest. That's Bertha.
No, Bertha married a Brown.
Oh.
And then was my brother. And Rose, she was in Salt Lake because, well, Father thought that he would take Bertha and I was younger, and my brother to up here to Idaho. Then we came up here, and Mary, she was working for a family in Salt Lake, and so was Sister Rose. And of course, Mary, she got married to Wiedekoffer.
Yes.
And then Rose stayed there.
And did Rose get married?
She got married. She married a Tunstead.
Do you remember his first name?
Let's see. His name was Tom. I think it was Tom. But then they moved away from Salt Lake. And Mary came up here.
Yes.
And my sister Rose went to San Francisco.
Oh.
So there it was, and then we came up here. We was up here, you see.
Yes. Now, who did Jacob marry?
He married some lady from a friend of theirs from Switzerland.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then she came over here. They sent her the money, and she came over here, and her name was Rose Wabel. So they was married, and then they came up here, and then Father seen a piece of land that was to be contested too. See, that joined the land that Father bought from Abe Knighting, see. And so, anyway, it was Mr. Silk come out. He came from Louisville. And he come there and talked to Father and tried to get him drunk. And Father says, listen, he was there all day. And Father says, listen, you've been drinking and I've been drinking, and I've got to sleep over. So he didn't get it, because that was the last day.
Now, let me just...
All right.
Then your father and mother had one son, Jacob, and then they had a daughter, Mary, a daughter, Rose, a daughter, Bertha, and what is your first name?
My first name is Anna.
And Anna, yes.
See?
Are any of them living now? Your brother or sister?
No. They're all gone.
Sister Gould, did you know the Morgan eggs that were
Yes.
from Switzerland?
Yeah, well, we didn't know them in Switzerland. We know them here.
They were from Switzerland.
Yeah, they were from Switzerland. Yes, they were from Switzerland. Yeah, they were.
Do you remember James E. Steele?
Yes.
And, of course, Heber Austin?
Yes. Yes, I know Heber Austin.
Do you remember when they built the, the Rock Church was here when you came, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The First Ward.
When they, no. The Rock Church wasn't built. It was not built at first. Father helped build the First Ward Church.
The Rock Church.
Yeah.
Did you remember Henry Catmull?
Henry Catmull?
He was a counselor to Bishop Thomas.
Yes, I remember them. All right. Yes, they were there. Father built the beehive, made the beehive, cut the stone on the church.
Was he a stonesmith or a mason?
He was a stonemason. Yeah. And then they worked helped put it up. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Oswald was helped too. He was there and helped build the church.
You remember Bishop Thomas?
Yes.
He was a tailor, I think, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a tailor.
What about Grandma Brunt, Elizabeth Brunt? You remember her?
Yes, I remember Elizabeth Brunt.
See, my mother was her daughter.
Oh, that was
Maud.
Maud. Yeah.
Eliza married Henry Catmull.
Yeah.
That was another of Grandma Brunt's daughters.
Yeah, that was another. Grandma Brunt lived on the corner of the house. Yes, I went by there many times.
Did you know her husband, George Brunt?
Yes.
Elizabeth's husband, did you know George Brunt?
Yes, I know George Brunt.
Must that be the son, not
The
husband?
son.
Yes, but did you know the father?
Yeah, no, I didn't know Grandma Brunt. I didn't know Grandma Brunt's husband, but I know George Brunt.
Yes, and Joe.
And Joe, and
Eliza Catmull?
yes.
Yes. Do you remember Maud? Married, she was Grandma Brunt's daughter that married a Groberg. You don't remember her?
No. No, I don't remember her. But I remember Grandma Brunt.
Yes.
And like that.
Yes.
And I used to send my kiddies to Sunday school.
How many children did you have?
Me? I've got 3.
You have 3.
3 living ones.
Yes. Did you lose some?
I lost 2.
You lost 2.
Yeah.
Did they live at all?
No.
They were still going. Was your husband a member of the church?
Well, he was baptized, but he was never confirmed.
That's interesting. Were the children interested in the church, your children?
Listen, they were all interested in the church, but they all got their fingers burned. So they just simply couldn't take it. My son went to Sunday school, and the teacher he had, there was, I don't know, talking about the Meadows Massacre, and of course Grandpa Wilson was, his brother was there and seen it, the Meadows Massacre, and he was telling it to the children, you know, about the church and one thing and another. And so, of course, Jeff told him just what his grandpa said. And the teacher said to Jeff, he says, "Now listen, little man, I'll tend to you after Sunday school." Well, that scared the poor boy so that he was afraid of Mr. Brunt. And he said he went to church with the bunch that he ran around with. But he says, if you let me sit next to the door, I'll go with you. He's not going to get me. So there you are.
Which Mr. Brunt was this? Was that?
That was Joe.
Joe.
Joe. He was teaching in the Sunday school, and that's what he told him. And, of course, that scared the kids. You know how boys are.
Yeah.
When you take and look right at them in the eye and tell them that, why, you get scared of them.
What about Grandpa Wilson? Was that your father's or your mother's? Who was Grandpa
Is that your
Wilson?
husband's
Father. They lived in the Wilson Lane in Ogden.
Out of Weber County.
Yeah. He had two. One. I seen the one brother. That is, let's see, what is his name? Oh, I can't think of his name now. Anyway, he was here, and if I'd have known all what I don't later, why, I would have taken him in. But I had taken the daughter-in-law, took and thrown. He says, you just get out of here, and throw his clothes out. I picked them up and told him, come here. And I took care of him until he died. And the other brother, well, he asked my sister-in-law if he could stay there. He said, and like that, no, he couldn't. If I'd known it, I'd have taken him in. But I didn't know all the details about it. I was just young. You can see how the situation I was in. Well, I took care of Grandpa Wilson till he died. He died here in this house.
Is that right? Well, you don't remember. You remember Elizabeth Brunt, that we call Grandma Brunt. You
Yes.
remember Joel.
Yeah.
And you remember George, and you remember Eliza.
Yeah.
And but you don't. But you remember Violet, that taught school, one of the younger ones.
No.
You don't
I
remember
don't know who taught school.
And you don't remember George and Joe's sister Maud, who married a Grillberg, and then when her baby girl was born, she died over here. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. Well, I didn't know it. No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Not that part of it. No, but I do know that my father helped build the first stone house.
Now, your husband, you were married. What date were you married?
I was married in June. I can't call you the date now.
Yeah. Was it after you moved up here?
Yeah.
And then
you see, I worked after my father went on a mission. I worked. And I worked for a lady by the name of Silk in
Grant.
in Louisville. In Louisville. She was a Chase, and she had just a small baby, and I guess they lived on a farm because she just had a small baby, and she wanted me to help her stay with the baby in the house while she done the chores and like that. I had to come out. I thought, if I could just come for a week. Well, Mother said, well, all right. And I got 50 cents.
50 cents a week?
Yeah. 50 cents for that week. And then I started working out in confinement cases.
This was before you were married. Did you know, up in Louisville, did you know a man by the name of Hiram Lee?
No, I know the man by the name of Silk. I didn't know, but no.
He was a bishop there for quite a while.
Well, what's his name? He was way up in the church because he used to come and talk to Father.
That John Hart, you knew him there.
Yeah.
He was. What about when you got married? Did your husband go to work for the city as the sexton?
No. That was my second husband.
Oh.
My first husband left.
I see.
My children is all by the name of Wilson.
I see.
Then I married George Gould.
What was the Wilson's first name, your first husband's first name?
John.
John Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And after he died, you married Gould?
No, he left.
He left.
Oh, he left me. See, he left me. We lived up on a dry farm, or took it up, but we took and dug a well with we could get a gallon bucket down, and it filled up with water. We'd fill it up with rope. That was it. It was this side of acre. And then we moved back. We couldn't make it, so we moved to town here. I lived in the tent with the 3 children. Bill and his brother lived here, still lived here in this house. And like that, and had the scarlet fever there, and I'd help take care of people that wasn't able to do anything, washed for them and helped them out, and nursed. That's what I did.
I hope you didn't live in the tent in the wintertime.
I did. We lived out there in that tent for, 3 years. Yeah, we boarded it up, and I packed the water from this house here out there for the washing and ironing and things like that. Oh, yes, I'd done all of that. Burned sagebrush.
You remember when they built the hospital, of course?
Yes.
And the sand hills and sagebrush.
Those sand lilies out here where the temple is. Oh, yes, I remember all of that. The children used to go up there and play for hours with a hand slate. In the summertime, they'd play there, dig holes, and the way kids do nowadays, Yeah.
Did you ever hear some of the folks say that someday they would have a temple there?
No, I didn't. But I know that the hospital was built because Grandpa Wilson helped work on that temple. Yeah. Oh, yes, and then that.
Well, Grandpa Wilson was the stonemason.
No.
Your husband, John Wilson.
John Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah. John Wilson was a stonemason. Was he was the plaster, was it called?
And then your father was, too.
My father was the stonemason, but Grandpa Wilson, I don't know what he did. I couldn't say. Well, I'd like to talk to his relatives that lived in Ogden, but when you ain't got money and you don't know this and you don't know that, you push from pillar to post, you don't do anything.
Well,
That's all.
you've done remarkably well.
So that's all I could do.
How long was your husband, George Gould, the sexton of the cemetery?
10 years.
I remember him.
Yeah, he was sexton of the cemetery. I helped take care of his wife. He would come, you see, after John and Wilson, he left me, and I had the children. And I'd go down there and stay with his wife during the daytime, and he'd bring me back at night. I stayed with her for a week. Then she had asthma so bad, honest, she'd cough that you would thought she would choke to death.
John Gould, or George Gould's wife.
George Gould's first wife. I was the second wife. So that's how that all happened. And now they're all gone too. Yeah, they're all gone as far as I know.
I remember asking George if he was related to the Goulds out at Far West in Ogden, and I think he said that they were related.
Yeah.
You've belonged to the first ward and the fourth. How many wards have you belonged to since you've been here?
Well, I belonged to the first ward. Then we moved away from there. I moved in the 13th ward. And then I come back and let's see, the 4th ward. That was up north here. And now I'm over here.
The 7th ward.
Well, I was first one place and then another.
Do you remember the names of some of your bishops?
No.
Remember Bishop Thomas?
Yes, I remember Bishop Thomas and his counselors.
Bishop Crabtree?
Crabtree, yeah. After my father, my father boarded with the Crabtrees for a while when they were running a cafe. When father cut the stone for crows that lived on Water Island. Father lived in the tent, slept there, but he didn't do much cooking. He boarded with Crabtrees, and it ate them.
Did you know President Fred Kane? Was that before your time?
That's Kane is afterwards. Yeah. I knew of him like that, but I wasn't too much acquainted with him.
He followed President Austin.
Yeah, I know the Austin. Yes, I know the President Austin.
Did you remember Robert Bybee?
Yes. Yes, I know Robert Bybee. He lived in Manam.
And then they moved up here.
Yeah.
He was a patriarch.
Yeah, he was. I think he gave Father a patriotic blessing and myself. Yes, I lived with my folks for a while, and I got a blessing. And there was I don't remember who it was. I was sick, and the man gave me a blessing or something. Anyway, I got better.
You don't remember who it was?
No, I don't remember who it was. You know, my father always said little girls and children They should only be seen, not heard.
Now then, you said your father was baptized, but let's see, who was it that was baptized?
The first husband.
Oh,
The first husband was
baptized but not confirmed.
No, he wasn't confirmed.
Did your folks, were they married in the temple?
Yes, but father and my brother, four of them went down. I had to stay home and herd the pigs and cows. Look, while they went down with the team and the wagon.
They went to Logan or to Salt Lake?
They went to Logan. The Salt Lake Temple wasn't. No. And I had to stay home. I stayed home, yes. And like that.
Well,
That was before I was married.
then you remember when they used to have teams and wagons,
Oh.
and then when they started to have, you probably...
I seen the first automobile on
Yes.
the way Dr. Bridges.